Now, there's been a lot of controversy about the current power Saitama is using in the One Punch Man manga, and as you guys can tell by the title, that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. And I know a lot of people might not like what's going on right now in the manga with Saitama and how he's like not one punching Cosmic Garou, but I'll be explaining why that kind of makes sense in this video, and I guess why it kind of doesn't make sense at the same time. But of course, I will be explaining the type of power he's using rather than discussing whether or not I personally like it, because I can say now I definitely do like it. But of course, before we get into the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new, because if you can't already tell, I post a lot of One Punch Man content. If you like that stuff, then I'm sure you're gonna like this place. And of course, if you don't want to, you don't have to. Maybe you change your mind at the end of the video. But anyway, let's just get into the video because it's quite a bit to talk about. Now, let's just kind of very briefly go over what happened in the last chapter. Now, Saitama and Garou basically clash in a serious punch squared. It sent them flying to the Io moon next to Jupiter, and they had a crazy battle on there. That's essentially what happened in the last chapter. And I guess in the last panel, people are arguing whether or not Saitama is bleeding, and personally, do I think he's bleeding? I kind of do, but I kind of don't, because I mean, Saitama doesn't bleed, but at the same time, that definitely does kind of look like blood. But I don't want to confirm anything just yet. But let's go on to what this video is actually about. Now, the current power Saitama is using, like according to the moves he's used currently in the manga or currently in this fight, I can say he's pretty serious. I mean, he's using exclusively serious moves. After Genos supposedly died, he's only been using serious moves. And I mean, he used the serious punch, the serious omnidirectional punch, and the serious table flip. Those are the three moves that we've seen him use so far in his fight against Cosmic Garou. Well, so far after Genos' supposed death. And personally, I can say right now that this is not Saitama's full power. Even though he does say he's going to be using his full power, we kind of need to take into account the fact that he is literally using one hand. He is holding Genos' core in his other hand. If he wanted to, I'm sure he could like add another hand to it and like it would completely destroy Cosmic Garou. Personally, I feel like this one hand is like the perfect match for this current form of Garou. I feel like two-handed serious Saitama would just completely destroy him. And even then, I still don't think two-handed Saitama is still his like serious or his full power. I feel like serious mode or serious punch Saitama isn't like the pinnacle of Saitama. I mean, Saitama doesn't even know the limit to his own strength, so I'm not too sure if we can fully trust Saitama's, I guess, word when he says he's using his full power. And I know you guys are going to be like, oh, but One is the one that wrote this. He is saying that Saitama is using his full power. And well, I guess that is true, but at the same time, I'm sure, if I can remember correctly, Saitama gets stronger by each day. So I mean, he could be way stronger than he is tomorrow than he is the previous day. So how like significant that quote is, I'm not too sure, but I like to keep that quote in high regard, because I mean, that's pretty insane. The fact that Saitama is stronger tomorrow than he is the previous days, it's crazy. Now, another thing I kind of want to talk about is the fact that I feel like Saitama still has like more like, I guess, serious levels. He has like levels to how serious he is. Of course, there's the normal punches, there's the serious punches, and we haven't seen anything past like the serious moves. And I'm sure there's something beyond that. Like, I'm pretty sure serious punches is not going to be able to take out God, who I'm pretty sure we can all agree is like the final boss of the series. So I'm sure, Saitama definitely still has more moves in his locker. I mean, he has a lot of moves, I'm pretty sure. I mean, he can pretty much just make any move he wants. The serious water squirt is like one of the most ridiculous serious moves I've ever seen, and I'm sure Saitama never originally had that in mind as like a staple serious move. He kind of just like invented it on the fly, and I'm pretty sure that's the same thing with the serious table flip. But moving on, I kind of want to also talk about how Boros versus Saitama is very similar to Cosmic Garou versus Saitama. Even Saitama says in the chapter that he has like a bit of deja vu from flying to the moon, the Io moon, because Boros sent him flying to the moon in the previous fight in like season 1. So yeah, that's also something that is very important to note. But once again, just to, I guess, build on that point, the fact that Saitama beats Boros in like a serious punch and now he's using serious punches against Cosmic Garou like frequently, kind of suggests to me that there's like a final move that Saitama is going to use in this fight that is beyond the serious punch. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have kind of already figured that out, but you kind of just don't know. You can't imagine anything beyond serious punch. Like, I mean, no one can really. I mean, I guess with the normal punches, it was kind of more obvious that there's going to be like a serious punch. But now that we've seen the serious punch, we're not too sure what is beyond this. And I'm sure that, I guess there's going to be something like, I guess, a super serious punch. That doesn't sound very cool, but I'm sure there's going to be like a cooler name for the next, I guess, level of Saitama's seriousness when it comes to the end of this fight against Garou versus Saitama. Because I'm pretty sure it's evident at this point that Garou is not gonna go down to just exclusively serious moves. Like, even though the serious moves are definitely messing him up, like the serious table flip like sent him flying, and it made an analogy between him and like an insect and like a cage. So once again, the serious moves are definitely hurting Garou. Like, it's definitely having an effect on him, but I don't think that's gonna be enough to bring him down, because I mean, this form of Garou is like the strongest thing we've seen so far. Like, Saitama's gonna need to use something stronger than the serious punch to get rid of this guy. And as I said before, it's the same with Boros. He couldn't get rid of Boros with normal punches, so he had to use a final serious punch to get rid of him. So I'm sure that's gonna be the same with Garou. So in conclusion, this level of seriousness of Saitama is not his full power, and you can take that with a grain of salt. I mean, I'm not the author of the series, but I'm pretty sure this is not full power Saitama, because once again, there's going to be stronger opponents than Cosmic Garou, and we know that Saitama is like the strongest in the series. Like, he's above everybody in the series. Like, no one is stronger than him. So I mean, there's going to be stuff that even Saitama doesn't know he has. I mean, Saitama doesn't know the limit to his power, so I'm sure that there's going to be more moves in the future, even stronger than the serious or the final serious punch or the final new move that I don't even know that's going to come up. I'm pretty sure there's going to be something even stronger than that when he faces off against God. So once again, that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. I mean, I'm sure anyone or most people should pretty much figure that this is not the last or the full power of Saitama. So I mean, that's pretty much it. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, but apart from that, I'll see you in my next video.